Correcting Itsekiri History Series 2. My name is Anireduorishe Erewa Megise. The translation of Megise simply means I said it the way it is. I spoke the truth. I did not say it wrong. On my paternal side, I am indigenous Itsekiri. On my maternal side, I am indigenous Urhobo. Both sides brought me into this world. The theme of this series 2, Correcting Itsekiri History, is more about the ancestral roots of the Olu Ginuwa, who was born a Benin prince in Benin Kingdom with Yoruba Ile Ife ancestral ties. The focus of this series 2, Correcting Itsekiri History, is centered on the Benin Prince Olu Ginuwa ancestral ties to Benin and Yoruba. For the most part, the Prince Olu Ginuwa was born of a human being by a human parent into this world, and was not born of a spirit, and he did not descend from the sky, and there is not much record of knowledge of the type of life he lived growing up. Some of the data of his birth might have been erased or not documented, and it became imperative to really take a deeper look at the origin of how the Benin Prince Olu Ginuwa was a direct generation lineage of the Oba Eweka I dynasty of the Edo monarchy in the Benin Kingdom. My research of the Benin Prince Olu Ginuwa in this series 2 is more comprehensive, more detailed oriented, and complicated to draw the connecting dot of the ancestral roots of the Olu Ginuwa to the dynasty of the Oba Eweka I that link to the Oba Oromia and Oduduwa in Ile Ife, Yoruba land. In doing this advanced research of the Benin Prince Olu Ginuwa, it is by itself a case study to be analyzed based on the following key points. 1. The Olu Ginuwa ancestral relations to the Benin royal palace that date back to the 12th century before he was born, starting with the Oba Oromia, and to the dynasty of Oba Eweka I in the 13th to 17th centuries. 2. What relationship did the Benin prince Olu Ginuwa had with his father Oba Oluwa in the 14th-15th centuries, and how did the Edo people of the Benin Kingdom viewed the prince Olu Ginuwa, and what effect did it have on the entire Benin Kingdom? 3. What circumstances made Oba Oluwa, who was the reigning Oba of Benin Kingdom, to disown his elder son, the Prince Olu Ginuwa, from the Benin royal family in the 15th century? 4. Documentations of subsequent events that happened in the Benin royal family after the Prince Olu Ginuwa was disowned and sent away from the royal family by his father Oba Oluwa, who was the reigning Oba of Benin in the 14th-15th centuries. History is very important. History is the actual documentations of occurrences of events that happened at a particular point in time for the knowledge of present and future generations to research, analyze, and learn from. Footnote 1. It is undisputed fact that Edo is the genesis birthplace of the Benin prince Olu Ginuwa, who was the biological son of Oba Oluwa, who was the reigning Oba of Benin Kingdom in the 14th-15th centuries. The historical documentation of the profile of the Benin prince Olu Ginuwa, who was born into the Edo royal lineage of Oba Eweka, the first dynasty, with ancestral connection ties to Ile Ife, Yoruba land, was 1. It all began around the 1100 AD in the 12th century, when Oduduwa led Yoruba to arrive West Africa via Mecca, Saudi Arabia, in the Middle East, and founded Ile Ife and installed their Oba, which attracted the interest of Edo people in the Benin Kingdom to want to do away with their Ogisos, or their kings. Edo people of the Benin Kingdom no longer want to be ruled by their Ogisos or their kings. They want Oba to rule over them. 2. Edo people invited Prince Oramia, who was the son of Oduduwa, from Ile Ife, Yoruba land, in the 12th century, to come to Benin to take control over their Ogisos or their kings. The Benin prince Olu Ginuwa should therefore be about the 6th to 8th ancestral generation lineage of Oduduwa in Yoruba land. 3. Prince Oramiyan, who was the son of Oduduwa from Yoruba land in Ile Ife, was crowned the first Oba of Benin in 1170 AD to 1200 AD in the 12th-13th centuries. The Prince Olu Ginuwa should be about the 5th to 7th ancestral generation lineage of Oba Oramiyan. 4. Prince Eweka I, who was the son of Oba Oramiyan, was crowned the second Oba of Benin, 1200 AD to 1235 AD in the 13th century. Historical record had it that Oba Eweka I reigned for 35 years. The Prince Olu Ginuwa should be about the 4th to 6th ancestral generation lineage of the Oba Eweka I dynasty. Historical documentation has it that at the demise of Oba Eweka I, his other children took turns to be crowned as the Oba of Benin. 6. Prince Uwakwehe was crowned the 3rd Oba of Benin, 1235 AD to 1243 AD. 7. Prince Ihemihe was crowned the 4th Oba of Benin, 1243 AD to 1255 AD. 8. Prince Ewedo was crowned the 5th Oba of Benin, 1255 AD to 1280 AD. 9. Prince Ogwala was crowned the 6th Oba of Benin, 1280 AD to 1295 AD. 10. Prince Edoni was crowned the 7th Oba of Benin, 1295 AD to 1299 AD. 11. Prince Udagbedo was crowned the 8th Oba of Benin, 1299 AD to 1334 AD in the 13th-14th centuries. 12. Prince Onhe was crowned the 9th Oba of Benin, 1334 AD to 1370 AD. 13. Prince Ogbe was crowned the 10th Oba of Benin, 1370 AD to 1400 AD in the 14th-15th centuries. 14. Prince Orobiru was crowned the 11th Oba of Benin, 1400 AD to 1430 AD in the 15th century. 15. Prince Uwafiokun was crowned the 12th Oba of Benin, 1430 AD to 1440 AD. 16. Prince Eware, who was Olu Ginuwa's grandfather, was crowned the 13th Oba of Benin, 1440 AD to 1473 AD in the 15th century. The Prince Olu Ginuwa should be about the 3rd to 5th ancestral generation lineage of Oba Eware. 17. Prince Ezoti was crowned the 14th Oba of Benin, 1473 AD to 1473 AD. History has it that Oba Ezoti reigned for only 14 days. He died from the injury he sustained from an assassin poisoned arrow that was shot at him on the day of his coronation. 18. History has it that Prince Oduma, who was Olu Ginuwa's father, was so horrified by the assassination of his elder brother, Oba Ezoti, that he at first refused to be crowned the 15th Oba of Benin, for which their eldest sister, Princess Edeleyo, who was the eldest daughter of their father, Oba Eware, was asked to ascend the throne. History has it that Princess Edeleyo accepted to be crowned the first female Oba of the Benin Kingdom. She would have been crowned Oba Ediaken. History has it that during her final coronation, her menstrual cycle started on the day of her coronation, which made it impossible for her to attain such an Oba title in the Benin Kingdom. History has it that in Edo tradition, a Benin woman who is in her menstruation is more valuable and would be restricted from executing certain duties while in the period of her red days, and will not be allowed to even cook for her husband, and will not be allowed to perform any deity rituals for herself and or for her families. The Edo documentation stated that a woman's menstruation at the time was also viewed to be a great taboo to the people. The Edo documentation had it that by the tradition of the Benin Kingdom, Oba of Benin is the supreme mediator between the Edo people and their gods. The Edo documentation has it that by the Edo tradition, the throne was very sacred with lots of ritualistic activities which could not be performed by a woman who was on her menstruation, for which her coronation was cancelled. It was documented that the Uzama of the Edo Kingdom therefore enacted a law in 1473 AD, the 15th century, that no woman should be allowed to reign as an Oba in Edo. History has it that as compensation for her bravery, a shrine was dedicated in her name, Ogbe Edeleyo, at the spot where the incident took place, and has become a sacred shrine in Udo section of Uselu, which every Ediaken are supposed to visit the spot to perform a ceremony in the sacred shrine to the spirit of the princess Edeleyo. 18. History has it that her younger brother, Prince Oduma, who had declined to ascend the throne, was eventually crowned the 15th Oba of Benin after much persuasions from the Benin elders. He was crowned Oba Oluwa 1473 AD to 1480 AD in the 15th century. Prince Olu Ginuwa was the eldest son and the first generation of the Oba Oluwa. 19. Prince Ozolwa was crowned the 16th Oba of Benin, 1481 AD to 1504 AD in the 15th-16th centuries. 20. Prince Osawe was crowned the 17th Oba of Benin, 1504 AD to 1550 AD. He was crowned Oba Esigir. 21. Prince Ohobwa was crowned the 18th Oba of Benin, 1550 AD to 1578 AD. 22. Prince Ihebuda was crowned the 19th Oba of Benin, 1578 AD to 1606 AD in the 16th-17th century. 23. Prince Onwa was crowned the 20th Oba of Benin, 1606 AD to 1641 AD in the 17th century. Prince Ahazia was crowned the 21st Oba of Benin, 1641 AD to 1661 AD. History has it that he was in his adolescent young adult age, 16 years old, when he was crowned the 21st Oba of Benin. Basically, he was just at his youthful years when the responsibility to be Oba of Benin Kingdom was bestowed on him. History has it that during his reign, the Benin Kingdom witnessed how their treasuries were wasted and gambled away. History has it that he died childless without an heir to succeed him. History has it that his reign ended the Oba Eweka I dynasty lineage to be crowned Oba of Benin since from the 17th century till date. It should be noted that during the historical documentation of all the events that took place in the Benin Kingdom, that also includes the scenario of the Olu Ginuwa, who became a fugitive Benin prince in the 14th-15th centuries, who was disowned and sent away from the Benin royal family. There was no reference made to the Olu Ginuwa. This is where I stop for now. My series, part 3, will focus on the Olu Ginuwa, disownment, movement, and journey from the Benin Kingdom. Thank you for listening.